Hey, phony homies, it's time for episode 3 of season 5 of the Fake Football Guys show. It's our wide receivers ranking show, and we cannot wait to get started. On today's show, we go over our top 8, MySpace top 8, really, and 75 wide receivers. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Fake Football Guys show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Campos, and alongside me is the co-host with the best beard in the game, Dustin D.L. Lingerman. What's up, baby? What's going on?
Dustin. What's up, man?
Another day, another dollar. We got another show. 2 days.
Bro, in the same week.
And it's a huge show, dude. It's wide receivers.
Oh, yeah. This is like I'm really excited about this one. This one I was like, oh man, this guy. Yeah, I got excited because our draft is coming up. My home league, commish, JC's a part of it. Some of our phony homies are a part of it as well. Is this Saturday? So I'm like so glad we're going through these rankings because not gonna lie, over the summer, you forget names. You forget like sleepy little starters, and you're like, oh man, that guy was awesome. So I'm pretty jazzed. I'm ready to win this year.
I like it. Like in baseball, right?
Bro, can we talk about that for a second? I was number 1 for like a month and a half, and now my team is just
spiraling.
Dying.
You're in the playoffs.
It's dying. I'm at the point where I'm like, I know, but like, it's like any fantasy sport. You like limp into the playoffs, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, no, that's bad. You know.
But maybe they'll get hot. It's like, maybe they'll get hot. You
not
never
true,
know.
but
you never.
Yeah,
know.
But that's not the way to go. Not the way we want, right?
Oh, Brian wants to know when the
last one was on Tuesday. Every Tuesday.
Yeah, Brian
Thursday,
was on Tuesday.
We will be going live between 8:30 and 9, usually what the time frame is. So.
Yeah, we're doing Tuesdays will be the waiver, of course, and Thursdays. We're doing rankings. Are we going to do sit stars? I think we should.
Yeah, we can. Absolutely. What the people want is what we'll give them. How about that?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It is what it is. All right, DL, let's go ahead and pay some bills real quick. Let's remind the people on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, we're everywhere right now, where they can follow us on Twitter, DL.
At tweet FFG.
And easy. And if they have those questions on Twitter, what is the hashtag they should be using?
Always use that. Ask us FFG.
Easy. See, guys, there's a trend here. And then DL, if they want to send us emails with a picture, naughty picture if they want, whatever they want, what is the email they can send to?
Yeah. You know what? You're gonna get a whole bunch of D pics now. You're gonna get so many D pics, dude. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you want a pic?" Or you're gonna get butts. Probably butts, because I don't think they want their pictures. Anyways, you can send those to askusffg@gmail.com. We won't be showing any naughty pictures live though. So
that's not how we don't play that way. And then DL, as always, if they want to leave us voicemail questions, send us texts, naughty pictures, whatever they want. What is that phone number, DL?
You can send your dick pics to 708-655-4508. See, we won't get in trouble by YouTube because
exactly correct. The algo is not going to pick that up. And as always, DL, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and notification bell. That way you know when we go live. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere that you listen to your podcast.
Brian fell asleep. I guess we got to get a little earlier.
Well,
we got an older crowd now.
And if you did, I fell asleep. Well, Brian, we posted.
I stopped texting because every time I text and I feel bad, is like some of the people in our fantasy league now have newborns, so I'm trying to be polite.
Congratulations.
Especially they're probably good job. Congratulations, Rudd. That'll be the last time I say that because I'm gonna whoop your ass. Anyway,
DL, another.
We got a jam-packed show.
Take my line, you jerk. Come on.
Well, you say it like 3 times.
It is.
That's great.
Okay, how about this? I'll change it up.
Pack, guys.
We have another fantastic show for you, phony homies, again today. But before we do that, before we talk about wide receivers, and I did say 75 wide receivers, and I did say we're going to go over 8 are each of our top 8 guys that you have to get.
MySpace 8.
Before we go into that, let's go to the news.
We don't have a graphic for news. I know you keep doing it, but we don't got it. Let's do this one. No, that's not a good one. We'll do this one.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were always going to kick it to, and you always leave it hanging. So,
well, no, because that's the injuries, but we can use that for news now. Because we can talk about injuries in the news. So. Okay,
what you got, Mr. News?
All right. Okay, Mr. News. Breaking news. This season, we're turning up the heat for all you phony homies. Not only will we keep you ahead of the competition for our weekly waiver wire breakdown, but we're doubling up the effort, guys. We're also going to do a second show dedicated for rankings, sit, start, decision. 2 shows, twice the insight, twice the wins. Let's dominate 2025 together. Thank you, ChatGPT. Okay, moving on. Falcons right tackle Caleb McGray injured.
McGarry.
Did I say that right? McGarry. So he will miss some time with a leg injury. So this may actually kind of hurt VJ a little bit because you got to have a good line in order to get through those gaps and get through those
Atlanta
holes.
Falcons. Caleb McGarry, by the way. So yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. What did I say?
I don't know. Your head's not in the right place. Okay.
Bajan.
Okay.
Bajan Robinson.
Whatever.
Bajan. Okay, moving on. Travis Hunter's preseason injury. Because he's playing double positions. He's kind of like a Shoney, if you will. So he plays both wide receiver and cornerback. Travis Hunter will miss the final preseason game due to an upper body injury. Not too worried about that. It could literally just be like, they're like, yeah, let's just wait. Let's save him. Save our secret weapon. The next one, Lamar Jackson fine after a practice incident. Yeesh. Ravens QB Lamar Jackson, if you didn't know that, you probably live under a rock, is okay after getting stepped on during practice. X-rays were negative. Dang, can you imagine? You're like so close to week 1. You're just ready for some live football, and some big old lineman steps on your toe and like takes you out. Man, reminds me of my high school days. Dolphins running back injury update with Devon Achane already sidelined. Running back Jalen Wright left practice slowly and is being evaluated. Ollie Gordon II took his reps. Also, what was his name? Alexander Madison? Or is that from Alexander Madison? Never mind. He's out for the rest of the year because of a neck injury. I don't think we brought that up last time.
Good news.
Oh.
It's bad news.
I remember that. I was like, I was driving in the car. I was literally driving the car. I'm like, oh, fuck, Anyways, moving on. Chris Godwin. This is some good news. Chris Godwin's activated after return delay. Buccaneers Chris Godwin was activated off the PUP list, but is unlikely to return until October due to last year's ankle injury. You're going to understand pretty soon, phony homies, why that sucks, but I'm a little excited because you'll find out. Let's call it tease. Broncos linebacker is healthy together. It's a weird thing. Dre Greenland and Alex Singletary are finally practicing together after dealing with an off-season and training camp injuries. So, man, the Broncos are starting to... Are you scared of the Broncos? I'm starting to get a little... I mean, there's a lot of good news.
I think they're a really good team. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Your
We're out here wearing a Broncos jersey. Oh, people.
Yeah,
Will Lutz jersey. Thank you very much. No, it's
Liar.
Russell Wilson jersey. Sorry.
Russell Wilson. Yeah. Let's ride. Loser. All right. And Bears news, throwback Cuddy. Bears added a running back. Chicago placed running back Deion Hawkins, who, by the way, had an amazing preseason. If you missed it, go look at his highlights because he's on the IR. And they're creating roster spots for Royce Freeman. Blast from the past. I don't know how old that dude is, but he's a Bear. The team also will still sports DeAndre Swift, Rashawn Johnson, Kylo
McGuy,
Britton Brown, and Ian Wheeler at the position. The team will also still sports. I wonder who wrote this. Moving on. Proofreading, bro. All right, cool. So, thoughts on the news?
You jerk. It says the team also still sports DeAndre Swift, Rashawn Johnson, Common Nungai, Britton Brown, and Ian Wheeler at the position. Boy.
You know, in elementary school, I hated reading it out loud. So, yeah, I hate it. I still do. People still make fun of me, but not really. Not to my face, at least.
What? This guy.
Yeah. Okay. So, any thoughts on this, or you want to jump into the 75 wide receivers?
None of the news really changed my outlook. I still think Bijan is still a top 2 running back in Atlanta, and I think Royce Freeman won't be a factor for the Bears. I don't think that's going to matter at all.
Yeah.
All right, Dio. Before we do our MySpace top 8 wide receivers that you and I like this year.
We're doing that first.
We do that, I want to go into the wide receiver ranking. A little teaser in the game. That's a professional move right there. You know? A little teaser.
Oh, professional. I'm still learning.
That's how that
works. Still learning, guys. I should just let JC, because he's the pro.
You would be a pro too if you would have read the private chat and known that I said go solo. I got a freaking sneeze, but that's okay.
I don't read that, dude. I just go. Okay. Look at this. Look, I already had it set up. At the bottom.
All right.
Okay. So if you tuned into last week's or what was it? Tuesday's episode, we were kind of long-winded with every single player. We're going to change it up a little bit because there's 75 and we don't want to be in here for 4 hours. I know you guys would love it, but man, I got to wake up tomorrow. Still got work.
I want to talk about 75. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Hit it.
There's a reason why I went to 75, and I had to include him. There are super deep leagues out there. I'm in a few of them, and some of these guys will factor in. You have 20-round drafts. You have 25-round drafts. You have 20-man leagues. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. So, Pat Bryant of the Denver Broncos, rookie wide receiver. Pat Bryant, by the way, I highly, highly, highly recommend. In a deep league. He is a sleeper candidate for me. Now, the reason is the Broncos just traded Vele away. Okay. They just traded the 2 receiver that they had because I believe that they're going to have Pat Bryant become a big, big piece of that Broncos offense. Okay. Now, Sean Payton compared Pat Bryant to whom last week? Michael Thomas. He doesn't just throw out comparisons anywhere, okay? Pat Bryant's a big receiver, not too fast, pretty fluid though, runs good routes, go up and get it kind of guy. I am super, super excited for Pat Bryant in this Denver Broncos offense, and I think he will be a factor. Come week 4, week 5, when you're looking on the waiver wire, do not be surprised if Pat Bryant is the guy you pick up. Deep sleeper for me. Theo?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Devontae Wicks. He had really high expectations this year, but low output because he's a Green Bay Packer and they deserve to die in a fiery... No, just kidding. So, yeah, he entered 2024 as a trendy breakout candidate, but finished 87th in fantasy points. His efficiency really plummeted. His yards per route run was he dropped to 1.41. Not good. You need a wide receiver to catch the ball. So I'm thinking he's a deep sleeper, not start ready. So definitely a bench guy. Wicks can likely be ignored, but he remains an intriguing stash and like deep dynasty.
And real quick, I do want to throw out there, if you see the numbers next to them, obviously we have the player name, the team they play for, their bye weeks in that third column, and in that fourth column, those are the projected points that both DL and I have come up with. That's what we're anticipating this week based on some of the different metrics that we have access to. So that's what we got. All right, DL, if you would go to number 64, I'll let you take that. And if you could go solo screen, great.
We're okay. I see. And we're speeding things up. Okay, Xavier Legette.
If you could go solo screen, that would be great.
You want to go? Single. Go, you got to poop.
Son of a bitch!
You got to poop, huh? One or two?
I fucking hate you.
1, 2. He's got to poop, guys. He's got to poop. Which is okay because everyone does. So for Xavier Legette, man, he kind of came on strong a little bit towards the end of the league. He was definitely like a waiver wire pickup and probably got you through some great weeks, right? Legette caught 49 passes for 497 yards and 4 touchdowns and finished wide receiver 60 for PPR formats. So this year, I think he's going to jump up. I think Sports Illustrated rated him as wide receiver 6 with upside, ranking him at wide receiver 68. Here's the thing, guys. Like, phony homies, I honestly think that the Panthers in general are kind of a sneaky team. They've gone full rebuild. They have a lot of young guys, and they're really like coming together strong. If I feel like if their quarterback can have a strong play, I feel like they can take the next step. So this year, I'm actually pretty high on him. I think if Bryce Young can stay under center, Legette play at least 59% of the snaps with a command of 20.5% target share. It's pretty good, which is great. So, yeah, and I really believe in Dave Canales. I just love his actual schemes in general. Plus, not to mention that he himself has publicly labeled Xavier Legette as number 1 receiver, expressing a belief in Legette's growth following a full off-season program. So, mark him down. He's definitely one of those guys that are like a sneaky stash. I think he has high upside. But yeah, JC, I mean, what do you think? You're muted, bro.
Look, I was a huge last year.
There you are.
I was a huge fan from last year. Many people know.
I
was sending out that little leg emoji everywhere I could, so people knew to pick up Xavier Legette. I am a big fan of him, and really, I agree with you. Dave Canales is an offensive mind. I do like the way he's using not just Bryce Young, but also Chuba Hubbard. We talked about him glowingly in our last episode on Tuesday. You guys should check that out. We went really deep on what the Panthers' offense is looking like. But Xavier Legette's going to be a guy that definitely benefits from the David Canales offense. And
dude, I'm telling you, a lot of people are. I mean, I think the Panthers are going to be. I think they're going to be good this year. I honestly do. But let's check out the chat. We got Marcos who says you're going full Gerardo Rivera on us. Did he take a poop too?
No, I think it's because of the Grays.
Oh, I think it looks good, man. You look like a fine wine, distinguished.
My girl loves it.
And then we have a really interesting question. Apparently, one of our phony homies also has a draft this weekend, Brian, and his question is this: I have a draft this weekend. Should I take Bears wide receiver Luther Vandross the second, or Joe Flacco in the second round? What do you think, JC?
I think Luther Vandross. Oh my God! I think honestly, yeah, it sounds like
he did great.
I don't even know what kind of question this is, what kind of league this is, but Luther Burden for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like they don't know what they're doing.
Not at all. You.
Wow, why do you got to scream at me in the private chat? All caps. You just,
because I really wanted to grab a beer, man. Cheers.
We'll just say it. Like, yeah, bro. Like, we're adults.
I'm gonna run a professional
way past the age of 21.
I want to talk about another guy that is on our list. I don't know if you want to take Luther Burden or you want me to take Luther Burden.
Go ahead. I just kind of fumbled around and by myself. That's why I don't like
I am very high on Luther Burden. There has been talks. Greg Olson shared the other day. I'm not sure if he was supposed to. I think it was secretly that he talked to Ryan Poles, and Ryan Poles believes that Luther Burden is has the chance to be the most talented wide receiver on the Bears roster. More talented than DJ Moore, more talented than Rome Odunze, who they thought was the number 1 receiver last year, by the way, Rome Odunze. And, more talented than OZ, Olamide Zaccheaus. So I think that's really telling. If that's the case, I think that they're very high on Luther Burden. And the way that he was used in preseason, I was very impressed with his blocking, which we know Ben Johnson said, no block, no rock. I was very impressed with the route running, and I was very impressed with his after the catch, his yak. I think Luther Burden is going to move up the rankings as drafts continue, and I think he's got a chance to be genuinely, I mean this, the second best receiver in fantasy for the Bears this season.
I 100% agree. Also, I think he's got a chip on his shoulder. I don't think he liked the fact where he got drafted. And I think he wants to prove a lot of naysayers wrong as well, too, because they're all like, oh, he's a problem. He doesn't block. He's a prima donna, blah, 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 blah. So I think he's ready to be like, oh, yeah, check this out. So, I mean, I'm always going to agree with any Bears takes, right? All right. We're jumping around. So where do you want to go?
You want to go? Let's talk about Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen is back with the Chargers.
Sir. I have my 57.
What number? 50?
I know 57 in our ranks. There he is.
There he is. Okay, cool. Keenan,
all right. Don't sleep on him. Okay, he's back with the Chargers, as you just said, DL. He's back with Justin Herbert. And, if I'm being honest, he didn't look bad last year. I just don't think the offense was good. If we look at the Chargers chart, I'd like to pull that up, please. Okay. The Chargers depth chart, I have it open. Okay, I have it up. I don't have to share screen. Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
The number 1 is Quentin Johnston, who I'm not a big fan of.
Dropsies.
Well, actually, it's Ladd McConkey is the number 1, followed by Quentin Johnston, and then nothing. I think Keenan Allen can easily go to that team and be the number 2 receiver. Easily. What does that mean? That means that if Justin Herbert has the kind of year I think he's capable of, the kind of year I think he's going to have, I have him ranked in my top 12, by the way, in the quarterback ranks. If you saw that episode, you'd know. People, watch that, phony homies, watch that episode. I think if Justin Herbert throws for over 4,500 yards, he's going to have 2,000-yard receivers, and I could absolutely still see Keenan Allen late in drafts get 1,000 yards for you.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of side notes. His slot usage is likely to rebound towards 60%, up from 54% from last year. The Chargers are expected to employ more 11 personnel sets, which should increase Allen's improvement in passing situations. He's a vet, dude. Like, he's spectacular. He knows how to run routes, things of that nature. If you're drafting, he's definitely like a late round filler. Reliable floor, volume, but limited ceiling. So
I think he's got wide receiver 2 upside. I think he's probably a wide receiver 3, which even then, this late is great, but I think he's got wide receiver 2 upside. What does that mean? That could be 8 touchdowns, 900 yards, 800 yards. That could be 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. I think he's definitely got it in him still. And I think he's going back into an offense that he knows how to play with, and with a quarterback that, he has great chemistry with.
I think this is like a safe bet. Like, he's that safe blanket he's a good flex spot, I feel like, on your team. I wouldn't expect him like back in 2010 when he was just like explosive and you're like, oh, he's going off, he's got 50 points. But yeah, he's going to be consistent. And he's definitely going to be.
Let me just throw this at you on the way out. In 23, when he had good quarterback play, when he had a good offense, it's easy to forget that just 2 years ago, he finished with 108 catches, 1,243 yards, and 7 touchdowns in just 13 games.
Dang.
I'm not saying he's elite anymore. He's not. but the guy's a great route runner. And when you age as a wide receiver, if you can separate, that's all that matters. And the guy can separate with the best of them still.
Absolutely. He's a possession receiver. He's awesome. I remember when the Bears got him, I was literally like, oh, we got Keenan Allen. Sure, let's go. But yeah, I feel like his production fell not because of him, but because we had the worst offensive coordinator known to man. So, did you want to talk? I don't want. You want to say?
Yeah, I would love to talk about Jaden Higgins. I'm very, very high on Jaden Higgins this year. Another guy I have deep sleeper in many fantasy football leagues. I highly, highly, highly suggest in deep leagues to go out and draft him if you can. We have him projected for 133 points. I think he could easily surpass that. Look, Jalen Polk just got hurt. I want to throw that out there. And the number one receiver there is Nico Collins. I think Jaden Higgins can absolutely be the number 2, take over that role, and be another guy that's super productive. The guy's explosive. They drafted him early in the draft this past season. I'm super, super high on Jaden Higgins. I think, and CJ Stroud has talked glowingly about him as well. I think if you can go out and get him, you should. I definitely think he's going to be there late in drafts. A guy who could easily be thrown in your flex spot, and by the end of season, you could be happy with a guy who could have wide receiver 2 upside.
100% agree. He's definitely like a bench stash for sure. Okay. You want to talk about Brandon Aiyuk?
You can. Well, not really. I mean, what else is there to say about a guy who's coming back from injury and
he's still injured. 49ers are in wide receiver hell right now. Jennings is injured. I think they brought one guy back. They're all injured or dealing with something. Brandon Aiyuk, who got paid, right? He got that money. Yeah, he's not going to be starting. I thought the projection I saw was week 6. Wow. So maybe if he's one of your last. Wow, look at that.
If he's recovering from a ACL and MCL. On week 6 of the year.
Yeah, it's bad, bro.
Usually a year injury.
Yeah, and he's a year and a half. My thing, maybe if I don't know, it's one of your last picks and he's still hanging around, or if you have an IR spot in your fantasy, that might be the play right there because you definitely want to have that. Yeah. But yeah, so that's all I really got about him. Anyways, let's move on. Oh man, this is crazy.
Yeah. Let's talk about it, man. Has he really gone this bad? Has he really regressed this much? I don't know, man.
I don't think so. I think
he's a top 15 pick for years. There's no way he got worse.
Yeah, it was a huge debate. Team. It was a huge debate. Are you going to go with Cooper Kupp? Or are you going to go with Jamar Chase? Or are you going to go with CeeDee Lamb? Literally last year, he had a horrible year. And it's weird. Like I said, man, this is the weirdest part about fantasy football is when you see these top guys all of a sudden drop. And they drop heavy ass rocks. Yeah, I mean, in 2021 he had a triple crown season. Kupp availability has been a concern. So basically he's getting hurt a lot and he isn't playing that much.
He's 32. He is a little older.
He's a little in wide receivers. Yep, absolutely.
I have some stats for you. Sharp Football on Twitter.
Okay,
this is really good. Okay, said in 2021, Cooper Kupp. This is in ability to get open. Okay, according to Sharp Football on Twitter. This is according to player tracking data. In 2021, he was number 15 out of a possible 160 wide receivers. Number 15 overall in ability to get open. In 2022, he was number 71 out of 150 players. In 2023, he was 102. Out of 153 wide receivers. And now in 2024, this past year, in ability to get open, he was 141st. He keeps getting worse and worse every year. He can't get open like he used to. He's 32. The injuries are piling up. I don't know, man.
But okay, check this out though. He averaged 9 targets and 18 points per game last year in 7 weeks. So I don't think he's totally done. In fact,
to counter.
Well, I was going to say, hold on. Also, from Fantasy Pros, Derek Brown noted that Kupp still has juice left. If healthy, he can outperform expectations. Yes. But go ahead, hit me with the hard facts. Numbers don't lie.
I want to contextualize the ranks that I just gave, and let you know that in a half PPR league in 2021, he was number 1 in total points and number 1 in average points per game. Okay. In number 2, in 2022, he was number 24 in total points and number 1 in average points per game in 2022. In 2023, Cooper Kupp was number 41 in total points, okay, and number 27 in average points per game at the position. And then in 2024, he was 40th in total points and 25th in average points per game. So the production is still there, but he is slowing down, and the numbers bear that out. Okay.
Yeah, to put a bow on it, I think he'll have reliable upside for PPR formats, but he's definitely like a wide receiver 3 flex or flex. I don't know why they always say wide receiver 3. Yeah, flex. Still solid volume. I think that's what's attractive to it because he's on a new team, right? And it's Cooper Kupp and who else?
Well, Sam Darnold is the quarterback.
No. But who's the other wide receiver?
Ooh. I like him this year, man.
Okay. I do. So, I mean, at mid to late round, I would say, I think he does have a solid like weekly floor when he's healthy. But it's just like you said, injuries keep piling up. You just went over the numbers, and yeah, I mean, like I said, numbers don't lie. People do. He's a little bit older. Dare to say, is he in like the Larry Fitzgerald stage of his career? Like where, you're just like, oh man, there's a guy in our league that drafted Larry Fitzgerald every single year, still played him, and sad,
it is
man.
Sad. Look, sad. If he thinks you're washed, maybe you are. I don't know.
Or you could prove us all wrong and make us look stupid. So
proving people wrong, Chris Godwin still hurt. And DL, when's the projected time frame for him to return? Did you say October? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yep. That was in the notes.
What are you doing with a guy like that? We have him at 51.
I mean, for 2025, he projects to land right around like wide receiver 40 to 45. So, I mean, we have him a lot lower. I mean, this is obviously just draft rankings.
Because of the injury.
But, his expected seasonal fantasy output are between 108 to 123 points in PPR formats. So the question, what do I do? I would say I think it's too much of a risk factor, right? He's going to either be he's going to be a boom or bust when he comes back, right? Which I feel like he's always kind of been that. Like there hasn't ever been like solid consistency from Chris Godwin, right? Like he has really spectacular games, and then you're like, okay, and you start him, and then all of a sudden he either got no points or like 2, right? So, it's a crazy year. He's battling the injury, coming back. Once again, I think we're starting to see the wide receivers starting to fade, right? It's been, I mean, how old is he? He's still young, right?
He's 29.
30. Okay. So, yeah, he's getting, because usually for like wide receiver range, you want that 23, 24-year-old. That's usually their prime. That's when it's like, okay. I feel like these guys are getting they're getting a little long in the tooth football-wise, right? I'm 42, so I'm not saying they're old. But when it comes to like fantasy football, this could be maybe a matchup dependency, but I mean, until October, like I'd want to see a couple games before I got like confident enough to like start.
So a few things on Chris Godwin. In 2019, he was a 1,300-yard receiver. In 2020, he had 840 yards. Dealt with some injuries. He is an injury-prone guy. I know he doesn't like hearing that label, but he can't shake it. He's an injury-prone guy. In 2021, he had 1,100 yards. In 2022, he had 1,000 yards. In 2023, he had 1,000 yards. And then last year is when he got hurt. He finished with 576 yards. So he has been consistent when he plays. When he doesn't, as we can see, there's some risk there. So look, I don't know if I want a guy coming off an injury like he's got, especially when there's other people on that team that have been so consistent, so good, and especially when they drafted a guy. And we'll talk about him a little later in our ranks. We'll talk about him a little later. DL, what you got?
Sorry, I was responding to Brian, who wants us to stop our show because he wants the rest of the league to overreach. So sorry, I kind of faded out. I wasn't paying attention. Are we moving on to Rashad?
Yeah. Let's keep going though. I don't have much to say unless you do on him.
No, I mean, he's on New Orleans. New Orleans is having a really bad time with quarterbacks. The guy they drafted isn't shaping out to be good. And you got Spencer Rattler really taking over. And if you remember from last year, he is trash. So I would stay away from anyone in New Orleans. Maybe Karma or Kamara. Wow, Karma.
Pro tip, if you can.
All right.
Stream defenses against the Saints. Stream that defense up. Whoever's playing the Saints.
Yep.
Because they're going to be bad. Really bad.
Man, remember a couple years back, it used to be like the Raiders. Then it was the Browns. You're like, all right, whoever
the Saints.
It's the Saints.
The Aints.
So there you go. If you're streaming.
You got Moondog at 49.
Darnell Mooney. The problem with Darnell Mooney, I like him. I think he's great. Obviously, ex-Bear. He was like if you had him last year, he was a great waiver wire pickup. He definitely got a lot of targets, a lot of points. However, he's still dealing with an injury. And he hasn't really been. He hasn't played at. I don't even think he's practiced. But sorry. I would say I'm not drafting him. I'm staying the heck away from him. If you want to dive into like projections and stuff, I don't know. I mean, it's up to you.
I just think that offense is going to be better than it's been in a long time. That's why we're high on some other guys. Like London and a few other guys, Bijan. I think Mooney stands to benefit as well. If you can stay on the field, a lot of it is, availability is the best ability, right? And when he's on there, to a man, they literally say that Darnell Mooney is the smartest player on the field at all times. They always say this. Great route runner, smart player, can find ways to get open, find soft spots and zones. Big play guy, really, too. I think he had 900-ish yards last year. Just checking up on those numbers here. Yeah, he had 992 yards last year. He was averaging 15.5 yards of reception. That's crazy. That's a lot. And he had 5 touchdowns, so on 64 receptions. So he's not a big target guy. Doesn't get all the targets. Doesn't catch a ton of balls. But when he does, it's usually deeper down the field. So, if you can get him, I would. I like him more than some of these other names on the list. To be honest, I like him more than Cooper Kupp. I like him more than Christian Kirk, Brandon Ayuk, than Jaden Higgins, who we're high on. A few of these guys. I'd really rather have Darnell Mooney. I'm higher than him on Darnell Mooney than Michael Pittman as well.
So, I would say late round sleeper. He has really good upside, obviously. Deeper leagues, absolutely. I would, he's not going to be your starter, but he's definitely going to be he deserves a bench spot for sure, because I feel like when he does come back, he's definitely going to get targeted. He's definitely going to get you some points, and he may even get you across the finish line even during playoffs. So it's my hot take. All right. We're going to move on. Let's see. Man, it's the only thing I'm not a fan of doing all these, because you're like, late round sleeper. So you want to talk about Michael?
No, but I would love to talk about Josh Downs.
Why would you like to talk about him?
Let's call it what it is. Josh Downs is not playing with Anthony Richardson any longer.
Who's he playing with?
Danny Dimes.
Yeah. Oh, I keep forgetting Flacco's not there. Indiana Jones.
That's right. So Danny Dimes is named the starting quarterback. Richardson throws a better deep ball, but I don't think he can make all the intermediary passes that, Danny Dimes that's what he excels in, the short passes. So with that said, Downs ran 84.5 of his routes from the slot last season. He was rarely on the field in 2 wide receiver sets. That kept down snap rate in the 60 to 75% range most weeks. He topped out at 78.6 of the snaps in week 6. More importantly, down 75% route rate, ranked 3rd among Colts and 63rd among wide receivers in the league. Downs still managed 25.6 of Indianapolis' targets, so about a quarter of the targets in the 14 games that he did play, and he led the team with that and ranked 22nd among all wide receivers. I say all that to say the guy is heavily used. The guy gets tons of looks, very, very efficient, a guy that runs tons of routes. He's always on the field. I like Josh Downs. I really like what he brings to the table. I think he's a good wide receiver 3 if you can get him.
I concur. Yeah, I would definitely say he's stable wide receiver 3 or wide receiver 4, who could outperform his current ADP for Indiana Colts. And I would say that like you have a more of a stable like quarterback with Indiana Jones. I mean, obviously he played, for the Giants. Didn't have too much luck there, but I think he's on like a redemption tour. So I think you're definitely going to see a lot more output. But yeah, I think he's one of those consistent guys. I mean, last year, he averaged like 10 points, like 10.7. So if you want to average up 11 points. So that's what you're looking for any position, at least 10 points, because that can definitely get you up there. So yeah, let's move on. JC, what do you think?
Low floor, to be honest. All right, Dia. What who you got? Who you want to go and talk about?
Not Keenan Coleman.
Okay, not Keenan.
I mean, you want to talk about Matthew Golden?
I mean, feel free. Do you? I don't know who you have on your top 8.
Hold on.
That's
right.
So Matthew Golden.
Finally. And also, Josh, I forgot I had him. But we're going to talk about Golden, right?
Yeah,
so Golden, go ahead.
No,
you go ahead. Okay. So obviously, for Matthew Golden, he was obviously a great pick for the Green Bay Packers. Keep in mind, Green Bay never, ever has drafted. When was the last time they have? Oh, I guess they did draft a wide receiver a couple years in a row, but a lot of people are very high on Matthew Golden. I think he's going to be a standout this year, especially with a depleted wide receiver core in Green Bay. I mean, let's see here. Just trying to get some facts real quick for Matthew Golden. He was selected 23rd overall in the draft. After transferring to Texas for his final college season, Golden received a career high of 58 receptions, 987 yards with 9 touchdowns, averaging about 17 yards per catch. He stands out in a big moments, producing 149 yards in the semifinals and 162 yards in the SEC championship. So definitely some really great appeal there. I would say sleeper appeal. Golden has a potential sleeper, especially in dynasty leagues, late round redraft picks, thanks to his speed and upside profile as a first rounder in an uncertain wide receiver room. So late round flyer for sure. But for PPR formats, I feel like he's more of a boom or a bust.
I would agree. I'll say he's got some competition at targets with Jaden Reed, who I think is the number 1 receiver for the Green Bay Packers. He's also got Christian Watson to beat out. Christian, when he plays, is pretty good, but I think Golden's going to stand out. He's a little shorter. He's 5'11", but what I do remember from the combine was he ran a 4.29 40. The guy is blazing fast. Not just that, he was great in college as well, and the guy has great hands. It wouldn't surprise me if they use him a little like in that Jaden Reed role. I know Reed's dealing with some injuries right now, if I'm not mistaken. So another guy that's high ceiling, low floor. He doesn't have the highest floor just because he's the 3rd guy there. But it wouldn't surprise me if in a year's time we're talking about Matthew Golden as the number 1 receiver for the Packers.
Yeah, and once again, that receiving room is limited, so he might have some huge upside starting off. Okay, let's move on. Stefon Diggs. Yeah, he is prima donna. I think he's going to suck ass this year, and I wouldn't touch him with the 10-foot pole. JC?
I mean, he's fine. I'm not really looking for him. I'm not a guy that I want. Not much to say.
Okay, let's talk about you're going to make me do it, aren't you? Emeka Ugobaka.
Wow. Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay. So he was drafted 19th overall by the Buccaneers this year. I'm really excited about this guy. I think he's going to definitely stand up, especially with Chris Godwin being injured, not coming back until October. Mike Evans, once again, is getting kind of long in the tooth. I think Mike Evans still has that production value. I doubt he's going to hit 1,000 yards this season.
Hard to doubt it.
I think he's on the downtrend a little bit. I'm not saying he's going to be like garbage. Don't target him. Don't draft him. But I think this guy, I'm really, really excited about him. At Ohio State, he finished as the school's all-time receiving leader, showcasing consistency in production, even when not the primary option.
Okay.
With that. So if he is target, that's great. So I think he's going to be a strong wide receiver 3 this year with some really great upside at wide receiver 2. I would say he's definitely one of the top late round targets with his upside in redraft leagues. So this would be the guy that you star, if you're doing Yahoo, you star him and just kind of wait and wait and wait.
Don't wait too long.
Don't wait too long.
Who would have drafted?
Yeah. Don't wait too long. Yeah, because somebody's going to be like, oh, I watch fantasy football, guys. This guy's great.
Yeah.
Let me draft
him.
So
I'm super, super high on him, and I probably would rank him much higher than this. I think he could finish the top 20, 25 receiver in fantasy. The reason is because Chris Godwin's hurt. It wouldn't surprise me if the Bucs hold him out until closer to the playoffs. Maybe the fantasy playoffs, that is. Maybe week 12, week 13, they start playing him. I know he's supposed to be back in October, but why rush him back and get another injury, from an risk injury, really? So with Godwin hurt and with Jalen McMillan hurt recently, he hurt his neck, walking around in a neck brace. It just leaves a lot of room open for Emeka Egbuka. So I'm super, super high. And that's that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense has led the league in touchdowns in 2023 and in 2024. They got Baker throwing that. He's spinning that thing, and it would not surprise me if Egbuka has a breakout. It is true Mike Evans is getting older and older, but he's as reliable as they come.
Not this year.
Every freaking year.
Not this year.
Maybe
Let's
not.
Do a show bet.
I don't know.
Let's do a show bet.
No show bet. I'm not going to bet against Mike Evans ever. But what I'll say is this: if for any reason there's any fall off for Evans, don't be surprised if Emeka Egbuka leads that team.
Wait a second.
This year.
Timeout. Show bet. I think Mike Evans does not get 1,000 yards. So if you think he is, you would be you're not betting against him. You're betting for him.
I will agree. He will get 1,000 yards. I will go against it.
1,000 yards.
1,000 yards.
For the season.
Show bet.
Show bet.
All right.
Okay, what do I win?
Write it down. Whoever's got it.
What do I win?
All right, Theo. Let's continue on because we're almost at an hour and we got lots to do.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Confident, but not that confident. Yeah, okay.
I don't got much on Khalil Shakir. Do you have anything on Juwan Jennings?
No. Let's talk about Jerry Jeudy.
You want to talk about Jerry Jeudy?
Okay, because Juwan Jennings injury. He's injured. I think if he comes back, I think he's going to be the wide receiver 1. He did show up last year. He definitely. I keep talking about this because these are lower ranked guys. He's a great waiver wire pickup last year. 49ers did target him, and he did. Get some really great receptions. Once again, I feel like he's a boomer bust. Jaden Reed, that was your boy last year. What do you think? Maybe quick snapshot on him.
Yeah, if he's healthy, I think he's super explosive. I'm a big fan. I love him. I love his game. I hate that he's on the Packers, but they use him in a lot of different ways. Kind of like a gadget guy. They use him on deep balls, end arounds, screens. They try to get the ball in his hands as much as possible because he's explosive. I like Jaden Reed a lot. Honestly, hate that I had to rank him at 40, but there's a few guys I like a little more. I just think he's got a high ceiling. Another guy that can finish in the top 20, probably top 15 based on talent alone. Just don't like the injuries he's continued to deal with.
Okay, great. So we're going to move on to Jerry Jeudy. last year he finished as wide receiver 21 in points per game with 90 receptions and 144 targets. Total receiving yards 1,229. That's pretty good, man. Especially when they were dealing with like that once again quarterback carousel, because you had the toucher that was in there, Watson, and then you had Jameson. And I think that's where his volume went skyrocketing, because we all know Jameson likes to go deep with his balls.
Whoa.
Yeah, see what I did there? Okay, let's see here. I will say that Jerry's ADP places him as a wide receiver 32 this year, including a solid mid-round value. So he already said that. We talked about his points. The only risks I would say is the quarterback situation still remains unclear with Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and rookie Shadir Sanders, which JC thinks is going to be the guy.
Week 4, week 5, yeah.
You know what's crazy? I was seeing these clips, obviously on TikTok. One of them was actually the Cleveland radio, and they're like, "Why did you draft Shakir if you're not going to start him?"
Yeah,
Shador, sorry. Why'd you draft him? Why are you doing all this? Like, either start him or trade him, because it's ridiculous. And I agree with that.
Yeah, I have a friend out there in Cleveland who wants Joe Flacco to be the starter, and I was like, "Why? It's a lame duck quarterback. He's not the future. Hand the reins over to the future and see what you got in both quarterbacks. You got to see what you got. You have to." So yeah, I think Shadur should be the starter, and I think he will be when the time comes.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I think the reason why we haven't ranked here is just because of the quarterback situation. Just because he's not gonna, with wide receivers, we talked about this last show on Tuesday, is that the thing about running backs is they don't have to develop a rhythm. They don't have to develop like certain routes that the quarterback wants them to run, because obviously there's some Karens out there, Rogers. And if you don't run it the right way, they're not going to throw to you, right? So like, I think that is an issue. The only upside is that like Joe Flacco is probably the only vet on the team. I don't know if that's an upside, but it's a lot better than having a rookie back there who potentially is probably going to take a safer bet than, ripping the ball downfield.
We have a comment here from Brian Bowler saying that neither rookie is good enough. Neither rookie is good enough. You would see an Anthony Richardson situation in Cleveland. I disagree.
Yeah.
Shadur Sanders is more pro ready than Anthony Richardson has ever been and is today. So I will say that. That's just because the Colorado team ran a pro style offense. Yeah, a lot of his passes are dink and dunk, short, but he's shown, although his pocket presence, I guess his evasiveness leaves a lot to be desired. He kind of runs as far back as possible to buy time. I do like what he does with this. I think he's got a good arm. I think he can process well. I think he's a smart guy. I think Shador is going to be the future there. You can quote me on that. Real quick on Jerry Jeudy. I don't want to go too deep on it. What I'll say about Jerry Jeudy is he doesn't have a lot of competition. They signed Deontay Johnson. The Browns did. They signed Deontay Johnson. And who else they got there? I know they got Thrash there. Amari Cooper's gone. And while Cooper was gone, Jerry Jeudy had 24% of the target share without Cooper. So he's definitely the focal point of the offense. A quarter of what they do on offense is Jerry Jeudy. So Jeudy posted a career high in targets with 144, receptions 90, and yards 1,229, finishing 16th among wide receivers last year with 236 fantasy points. I like that he's got Flacco because Flacco's going to push the ball. I like that he's got a guy who's going to make the open pass, and Jeudy can get open. I don't know if I'm as high on him going into this year, being another 1,200-yard receiver. Do I think he can get 1,000 yards? Yeah. Do I think he can get 1,200 yards? I don't know. A little harder, but it could be done. The only issue with Jeudy is he doesn't get in the end zone that much. He only had 4 touchdowns with 1,200 yards, so you'd think he'd get more. I expect some regression to the mean. I expect him to regress a little bit in yardage, but maybe get a few more touchdowns. So a guy this late that can get 1,000 yards, definitely interested in Jerry Jeudy.
Great take. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. Ricky Pearsall. He's dealing with an injury. I think he's a jag. Honestly, I don't know. I even last year I didn't really see any like huge oh yeah, that's Ricky Pearsall. I think everyone was getting excited because at one point last year with the 49ers, they were just plugging random dudes and they were like going off. I don't think Ricky Pearsall was that guy.
So
I don't know if you.
I disagree. I think he's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver as well. I'm just out here throwing 1,000 yards left and right. Apparently,
you really are. Everyone's getting 1,000 yards.
Yeah, but Ayuk is
out.
Evans. So Ayuk is out. Don't know when he's going to come back. They let go of they traded away Deebo Samuel as well, and Jauan is hurt right now. He wants money. Jauan Jennings wants to get paid, and he's got a hip injury. So because of that, the number one target getter is probably going to be between McCaffrey in the receiving role, which I like McCaffrey. It bumps him up a little bit, and George Kittle, which I like George Kittle this year as well.
Last I disagree a little bit just because last year when they were in the same kind of issue, who got all the targets?
Jennings.
George Kittle, right? So, I mean, at this point, I'm targeting George Kittle for sure because when that was going on, it was either George Kittle or CMC. That was it. Like they would mix it up a little bit, but I don't feel like Ricky Pearsall really has that talent to like take over the wide receiver role. So
I think Pearsall is a great guy to get and try to flip. I think he's one of those guys just because of the nature of who's hurt right now. You can get a Pearsall. He can put up 10, 15 points a few weeks in the first 4 weeks. And then as guys come back, as Ayuk comes back, as Jauan Jennings comes back, then that role diminishes a little bit. But you got a guy who can perform and maybe you can flip. That's a guy who I would try to target early, a guy that I expect to have a good year, but probably have bigger games early.
The only thing I will say to that, like I would wait, I would flip him when he has an amazing game.
Yeah, first few weeks, I'm
sure. Like sell high, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I would look at it. Okay. Jordan Addison is okay. Guess it's just me. Like to turn off. Did he hit me in the jet?
All right. Don't know what happened there.
Oh, I don't know either. I thought. Did you want me to?
That I got mad about.
You got mad.
No,
it's all right, buddy. So, Jordan Addison, right? Right now he is out for what? 3 games? I want to because of
he's out for
DUI.
A number of games. I'll tell you how many games.
I believe it was 3, but
yeah. So Jordan Addison is suspended for a total of 3 games.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, I still, even though he's going to be missing some time, I feel like Addison is a steady wide receiver 3 with occasional ceiling weeks due to his red zone powers. So powers. But yeah, I mean, he was, let's see, Rotobot projects him to generate 177.5 fantasy points, ranking him number 50. We have him at 37. Listen, I think he's going to be one of those guys that are matchup dependent, right? Because if they start locking down Justin Jefferson, it's coming to Addison for sure. And he can handle the load. You can definitely handle that load right to the face. So I feel like he's going to be definitely like I said, I would put him on the bench maybe and see who they're playing week to week and roll the dice that way. That's pretty. I feel like we're going to be saying that. I think he's going to be on waiver wires this year, and he's going to be matchup dependent.
Agree. Boomer bust guy. The biggest difference is here is he's going to miss about 17% of the fantasy season by missing those 3 games, which sucks. Which means you can probably get him at a discount, which is why we have him ranked where we do. We probably have him ranked closer to 30 if he wasn't missing those games, which is not bad. Not bad. No, but what I'll say about Addison here on the way out is he's got a different quarterback in McCarthy. It remains to be seen what happens with McCarthy, how good he is. I like him, but I think the guy who stands to benefit more from a young quarterback is Jefferson because he's going to look for that security blanket, and he's going to have 3 games to build that security blanket, make it bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So is that a guy that I want? Yeah, I would take Addison, but I'm not looking for him. It's not a guy. There's a bunch of guys I'd rather have. Honestly, I'd rather have Pearsall. I'd rather have Jerry Jeudy. So
yeah, absolutely. I don't think we have to go that much deeper on him. The next guy that I'm actually pretty excited about is Jakobi Meyers, right? Hold on. I want to get his picture. I got all these pictures and then I'm not even using them at all. Here he is. Bam, my guy. Jakobi Meyers, right? So last year he posted a high of 87 receptions for 1,027. Remember, he also had a horrible coaching, a horrible OC, and he was able to kind of push that kind of number out. He finished as wide receiver 26 in PPR points per game, approximately around 11.6. So this year, coaching upgrade, I would say. And let's see, with the arrival of Pete Carroll, and we know how Pete Carroll uses his wide receivers. So I'm excited about that. He also has OC Chip Kelly. Remember that guy? He was awesome. And he's got a quarterback, right? Geno Smith, who did fantastic on Seattle. So I feel like this is going to.
Before you go any further, you know who threw to him last year?
Geno Smith?
Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. He's got a better quarterback from Jump Street. That's going to help.
Absolutely. Anyways, he's actually, CBS says that he's actually undervalued.
Agreed.
Highlights him as a potential undrafted fantasy wide receiver and suggests late round 7 or later could bring value to his upside. I 100% agree. I mean, just because he had such a crappy situation last year, and I feel like this year he's got the better coach, the better quarterback, and he's got talent. So
everything got better.
Everything got better.
They got Ashton Jeanty now. Another year of Brock Bowers development. I think Jakobi Meyers is going to be the top target getter there. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 for them. I think he's got wide receiver 2 floor with wide receiver 1 upside. Genuinely, I mean that.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't say better myself. Thought I did, but didn't. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to number 35, Rome Odunze. I didn't get his picture. I don't know what's wrong with me. I should have. I don't know what I was thinking. All right. So obviously last year he was the first pick overall, or he was in the first round, number 9 pick, if you want to get super critical. But his rookie year, he completed 54 receptions and 734 yards with 3 touchdowns across 17 games. So yeah, he finished like 56 in fantasy. I think Odunze is one of the league's biggest sleepers this year, just because he's tall, right? He's 6'3", 210 pounds. He definitely he'll go up and grab that ball. He's not afraid to lay it out, which I'm really excited about. I feel like this year he's gonna have a breakout year. I don't know why. Could be that he's on the Bears. Also in preseason, man, preseason, or I'm sorry, I would say during practices, if you're, watching that on Twitter, like him and Williams were linking up. They were drafted at the same time. I feel like they have that chemistry. They have that route. There have been rumors that Odunze could be the Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't see that. I feel like Luther's more of that type. But I'm just really excited about him. Obviously, he's a flex starting off, but I feel like he could grow into a wide receiver 2 for fantasy.
I like him. Depends on how the offense looks. And you know what? I think the guy who's going to be the odd man out this year is going to be DJ Moore a little bit, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm weary on how they're going to use his receivers, but I do think Rome takes a step and becomes the lead wide receiver for the Bears.
I think DJ Moore. Actually, I think DJ Moore would be like the Amon-Ra St. Brown type. Like they were using. There's a couple practices where I was like, "Oh, that looks familiar."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you're kind of right. It's Luther's getting a lot of comments, so we shall see. Okay, you want to talk about your boy?
Yeah, I want to talk about. Well, I don't really got much to say about Chris Olave this year. I think that team sucks. So that's all I'm going to say.
Dude,
they have a bad quarterback. I don't want receivers with horrible quarterbacks. I just don't. I'm not going to build with that.
And you know what sucks about Chris Olave? Like honestly, like he's like one of those guys that you were really excited about, but it just has not come together.
He got hurt.
Not only that, he gets hurt. He's been in concussion protocol. Like last year, he was in it, I want to say 3 times.
Yeah, at least 2.
Not good, bro.
Yeah.
It's definitely not good being that young and getting that hit that hard and getting sat out. But you're absolutely right. I think he's in quarterback hell. I don't see him booming at all this year. I think he's going to be a bust.
All right, next guy I do want to talk about is Deebo Samuel, affectionately named Deebo Samuels by DL. Here's what I'll say. Who are the starting running backs right now for the Commanders? You have Jaden Daniels, the quarterback, and who else? Eckler, McNichols, Chris Rodriguez,
Ryan,
Corey Krosky Merritt, Bill. Who else?
Dude, I fucking love Bill.
You have Deebo Samuel, okay? Deebo Samuel, because Brian Robinson is going to get cut or traded. That's what they keep saying, okay? They keep saying.
He's probably going to get
Deebo's going to get used as a running back someplace. I'm telling you that right now. Don't be surprised. In addition to that, where the hell is Scary Terry? Where's Terry McLaurin? He still has not practiced. What does that mean? That Deebo Samuel is getting extra reps with Jaden Daniels. That means that Deebo Samuel is going to be probably the lead wide receiver coming into week 1, week 2 until Scary Terry acclimates. And there is not a good track record for number 1 receivers, number 1 running backs, number 1 anywhere, any player that doesn't practice in the offseason. They acclimate slowly. They don't get their legs underneath them right away. It's a problem, okay? The Scary Terry thing is a problem. I think Deebo Samuel has a chance to profit. I think he has a chance to be not just a 1,000-yard receiver, but he can get 500-yard rushing yards. It's totally possible, and tons of touchdowns. I definitely believe it. I think Deebo Samuel is probably ranked too low when I'm looking at it, when I'm thinking about it out loud. I think we probably should have him closer to 25, 26, 27 range. It's a guy that I'm trying to go out and get, a guy that I want on my team. It really is. I don't know when he's going to pop off. That's the problem with Deebo. You're going to have high weeks and low weeks, but those high weeks, trust me, they're going to win you weeks. I want Deebo Samuel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Deebo's been tried and true. Once again, he's a little bit older, which doesn't mean he's like done. I think you're absolutely right. They're going to use him more in that like kind of what do they call it? Utility, the utility or like joker back. I don't know. But yeah, I think he has upside. Definitely. Once again, I would say probably like mid-round value. With a bounce back upside. But yeah, I think because of 2024, he definitely dropped a little bit. So I do agree. I think he's, once again, if you want to have a safety blanket or have somebody that you're like, okay, I can start him and not like freak out. Yeah, I think he's him. But I do agree. There's going to be times where if you do have him, you start him. Don't be surprised if he's not lighting up the scoreboard.
Cool.
I
got nothing else. Rashee Rice. I'm a little scared about how long he gets suspended.
Chance
that he doesn't come down at all. There's a chance he doesn't get any suspension at all, in which would be a huge profit. I think he's a lottery ticket. He's a roll of the dice. If you could get him late, get him, because when he's on, he's the best receiver on that team.
Absolutely. I mean, last year I had him. I hate doing that because like. You ever notice that like no one gives a shit about your fantasy team?
No.
So if you're like, I had him last year, like, oh, cool. Don't care. But he definitely like, man, when he was out before he got injured too, he was awesome. So I totally agree. He is the guy for a high offense. I mean, come on, it's Kansas City. Like, I don't think they're going to slow down at all. So, but yeah, that does scare me. Rumors around the league is that like his suspension is probably going to come out right towards the end of preseason. That's usually when they do that. So maybe stick him on if you have room on your bench. Might be you got nobody else and he's still hanging around. I would grab him for that.
There's a rumor a day ago, per Adam Schefter, the NFL wanted an 8-game suspension for Rashee Rice. It's a like huge year. If he gets 8 games, we're gonna drop him down to the 50s. Okay, if he gets 8 games. If he gets 4 games, he's okay here in 32. If he gets 6 games, probably somewhere in the low 40s. If he gets not suspended, we're talking about a guy who, in my mind, is a top 25, top 20 receiver. Top 20.
Absolutely. I would also say too, like, yeah, I'm guessing he's going to appeal it and they're going to give him 6. It's the way I feel it's going to shake out. But yeah, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. He kind of put himself in a bad situation. All right.
Yep.
We're going to talk about Calvin Ridley for the Tennessee Titans. I'm really excited about Calvin this year. I was excited about him last year. And honestly, I feel the reason why he didn't shake out as I thought he would is because Will Lutz.
He had 1,000 yards. It wasn't bad.
It was okay. Yeah, 1,000 yards, but I was like, yes, this guy's going to be awesome. So, yeah, as you mentioned, he finished with his second straight 1,000-yard campaign. He finished the year with wide receiver 36, despite working with inconsistent quarterback play. So, not bad, man. Way to go. This year, he's projecting as a wide receiver 3 with the upside to be wide receiver 2. And that's once again based on the quarterback play of Cam Ward.
Correct. Let me go in there. Cam Ward's better. Okay. He's going to be good. He's going to increase. He's going to improve that offense. Let's be real. And just on that alone, you'd think Calvin Ridley's going to benefit. He had 1,000 yards last year. He only caught 64 of his 120 targets, which is a little alarming. But I would like to think that Calvin Ridley is going to have a regression to the mean and have a positive year. He only had 4 receiving touchdowns. I think he could turn those 1,000 yards into maybe 6, 7. And if we're talking about 1,007 touchdowns, we're talking about another guy who could probably move up. Where do we have him? We have him at 31. We're talking about a guy who's he finished 29th last year in fantasy, okay? If he can get a few more touchdowns and a few more, another 100 or 200 yards, that's another guy who could be in the top 20 easily on a team that's improving on offense.
Yeah, I like it. I would say like mid-round kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
I would say also like we're saying altogether, he's going to be like a wide receiver 2. If Cam Ward is strong, right? If he's kind of get through it, it's so hard with rookie quarterbacks. But Jaden Daniels kind of put that to rest last year. So yeah, maybe Cam Ward is going to be that dude as well too. All right, Travis Hunter. This guy is an anomaly, bro. Anomaly overall. Do you think he's? Yeah, I really don't have that much. I'm just excited. I want to see if they're going to use him on both positions. I doubt it. I really do.
I'm a year away. I need to see 1 year of what they do with him.
Yeah.
Is he going to be more a receiver or more of a cornerback? How many plays is he going to play? Because I don't know if he's going to get 100 targets if he's not going to be on the field. I'm scared. I don't want any shares of him. I'm sorry. Not on any teams. I might regret that, but too much of a risk.
Maybe, I don't know, like maybe Dynasty League? Would you consider?
Shares. No shares.
Wow. Okay. We know how you feel. Zay Flowers, man. Here's a guy that had a potential really high upside last year. He did too bad. I mean, he got 74 receptions for 1,059 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's what kind of stunk. And I think it's just because of the way they're scheming, their offensive scheme is. They're run heavy, bro. I mean, you got the King back there. You got Lamar Jackson. And I really think what hurt him too is when they were in the playoffs 2 years ago, he had a little case of the dropsies, which they couldn't really which really hurt him. So I would say last year he had the target share of 24.1%.
Great.
62.3 receiving yards, which is like 27th overall. 2.35 yards per route run. So decent, right? He's a steady wide receiver 3 this year. I think he does. Obviously, all these guys have that upside value. But yeah, I think he's definitely a highly efficient receiver with like a low floor. That's the way I would look at it. Totally going to be touchdown dependent.
Yeah, I agree with that. Here's what I'll say. Just a few things on Zay Flowers, okay? He had 116 targets last year, so those numbers continue to rise. From his rookie year, he's improved in red zone usage, so they're starting to trust him more. Now, he's small. He's 5'9", probably why he doesn't get a ton of red zone usage. Not the greatest hands either. I've seen some Zay Flowers drops that I hated. But again, in his rookie season, he only got 4 targets inside the 20-yard line. Okay, that number jumped to 9 last season, while his 7.8% red zone target share still trails elite receivers. Okay, that Lamar Jackson has. You just don't throw to him in the red zone, and that's an issue. That's an issue. A lot of it is touchdown dependent. If he could turn a few of those plays into touchdowns, we're talking about a different receiver. Do I want a guy like Zay Flowers? Absolutely. If nothing else, because of how fucking good Lamar Jackson is.
Yeah. Obviously, they're going to be playoff bound this year. I think this year it's once again it's going to be Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore. I think that are really going to be fighting it out throughout the whole season, which is awesome because it's going to consist of a really good. But overall, Zay Flowers does scare me a little bit because, the year before it was like, whoa, good pickup. Last year, what's going on? What's going on with little Zay there? We did have one question from Brian, who is blowing up our chat in regards to Hunter. So Travis Hunter as a CB getting wide receiver points through a full player defense league. Good point. What do you think about that, Mr. JC?
Travis Hunter as a quarterback getting wide receiver points through, although on a full player, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
There's certain fantasy leagues where they draft defensive players.
Defensive players? Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's, I don't know. Okay, so I don't know how that works. I've played in an IDP league before.
There you go.
I've never had a look. I'll tell you how it works for baseball. If you have Shohei Ohtani pitching and Shohei Ohtani hitting, those are 2 different players in baseball in Yahoo leagues. I don't know how it works in your IDP league. I'm not sure which format you're using. I'm gonna guess if you're using Yahoo, you're gonna need to get Travis Hunter the corner, and Travis Hunter the wide receiver. That's how Yahoo does it. For ESPN, I'm not sure, so I can't really speak on it without that information. But if you do get double the points, then that to me instantaneously makes him the number 1 player to me because he gets double points. So.
Absolutely. Yep. So, George Pickens.
I got nothing to say. I think that Dallas offense is going to be playing from behind. That's all I can tell you.
There's a lot of hype. All I got to say is a lot of hype. A lot of people, they think that a change of scenery is going to give him that upside because he's paired with elite quarterback Dak Prescott. Hopefully he stays healthy. And the other thing that kind of stood out to me is CeeDee Lamb obviously said that we're both number 1 wide receivers. So, I think overall he has high upside, low end wide receiver 3.
All right, next guy, Courtland Sutton, a guy that I know you and I are high on. I'm sorry?
I don't like him.
Oh, well.
I'm still hurt. I'm still pissed off the year. He's like, there's certain people that I can't because you pissed me off so bad. And that was probably 3 years ago when I drafted him and he did nothing. However, I know he's gotten better.
Let me give you some numbers. 55 and 135. Which number is bigger? 55 and 135. Which number is bigger? All right.
Can I get a lifeline on that?
Yeah, 135 was the amount of targets that Courtland Sutton got last year. 55 was the amount of targets the next wide receiver got. Okay.
Yeah.
Courtland Sutton got more than double the targets. That is Bo Nix's favorite guy. And he finished with 81 catches for 1,081 yards. Do I think he's going to improve on that? Yes. Simply because Bo Nix is a year more advanced now in Sean Payton offense. I think Courtland Sutton's going to be guaranteed lock as long as he's healthy for at least 8 touchdowns and 1,000 yards. Sign me up. What else is there to say?
Yeah, I guess he's a reliable wide receiver. I'm telling you, he burned me so bad. And even last year, I was being like a stalker X, right? I was checking. I was like, let's see if he did anything. And I didn't see anything really standing out to me. So yeah, I think he's a reliable wide receiver too. Absolutely. He has a high floor, right, in PPR format, so he's definitely good for that flex. But personal reasons, I'm not drafting him. I don't. The only thing I would say is that, obviously, Nix is a great quarterback. He's in Sean Payton's, scheme. But I don't know. I didn't see anything exciting last year. I really didn't. So that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
It's okay. We don't have to agree on everything.
Yeah. Jameson Williams, what do you got? Anything?
Ooh, yes. The thing I like about Jameson Williams is that overall, they got a new OC, right? He is also in that prime, right? He's like 24. And I think they're gonna move him around quite a bit. I think he's gonna be more in the slot. And basically the way I look at it is that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be double teamed quite a bit. I think this opens the door for Jameson Williams quite a bit. He had a breakout production last year with 58 receptions for 1,000 yards. Wow, a lot of guys had 1,000 yards. With 7 touchdowns over 15 games. This year, the offensive coordinator, John Morton, is now directing the offense. Williams is expected to benefit from an expansion route tree and deep pass focus on Jared Goff. That was the other thing. If you were paying attention towards the end of the year, like Jared Goff was ripping it. He was gripping it and ripping it, and he was making the plays. And I think that definitely like got like some eyebrow raises. Like, whoa, okay, he's doing something a little bit different. They've been praising him in training camp as well too. Coaches have highlighted the improvement in his route polish, awareness, and red zone execution. So I'm pretty high on him. I think he's going to be like one of those sneaky stashes, if you will. He is once again going to be a boomer bust type of guy. Like I don't think every game he's just going to be super consistent, but when he goes off, you're going to be happy that you started him. So yeah, that's what I got.
All right, I don't got much. Speedster, cool. He's all right. DeVonta Smith, I don't have a whole lot.
Yeah, he's tried and true, right? Like the thing about the Eagles, I'm a little wary of how often they're going to throw the ball. I think they're kind of going to the run game quite a bit.
And less. Yep.
And I think it's going to be one of those like, oh, this is the AJ Brown game. This is the DeVonta Smith game. This is like I don't see them both eating, if you will. So.
Okay. Do you have anything on Xavier Worthy?
He's fast. I have him on my Madden team, and he's like, it's been awesome. And like, yeah, get it. Let's go, Xavier. You know what? Maybe I should draft him. That's happened to me a couple times. I'll be playing Madden. I'm doing my ultimate team. I'm like, wow, this guy's good. You know what? I think I'm going to draft him. And then,
we'll skip the Jalen Waddle on accident. I think he's solid. Just solid. Not a whole lot to say about him. He's 26 years old. He has 3,000-yard receiving season in his career, and yeah, I hear he's been good in camp. That's it.
I heard he's been really good in camp, and I think it's like Treek is not. He's still kind of being a crybaby, if you will. Mm-hmm. I won't say a crybaby, but he's definitely not doing anything great to kind of for his PR. I don't think he wants to be there. Like, I don't know, man. I think the Dolphins team is on the decline. I think they're going to implode. They've lost a lot on defense. Like they traded away a lot of their guys, which is not good. I feel like, they're going to be playing from behind. So maybe that's an upside for Jalen Waddle. But even last year, like he's one of those guys, once again, that like his name gets thrown out there. People get excited about him. And then they're sorely, sorely disappointed towards the end of the year when they're not in the playoffs. So.
Okay. Like I said, nothing much on Xavier Worthy. I do want to talk about the next guy, Teteroa McMillan.
Say it again.
Teteroa McMillan. He was the number pick in the draft this past year, and I think he's going to be their most impactful rookie at wide receiver, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Xavier Legette and Adam Thielen. That's it. This is only competition. And do I think he's better than both? I think he's leaps and bounds better than both. Great route runner, explosive receiver, tall as hell, can go up and get the ball. And Bryce Young at the end of the season was really coming into his own. Okay, really coming into his own. I'm a big fan. Yeah, is Bryce Young a little improving? Absolutely. But I'm not afraid of Jalen Coker, Xavier Legette, or Adam Thielen. I think he takes the job easy, becomes the number one receiver there, and could easily. I got him already penciled in for 1,000 yards, and I think when they get to the red zone, It's either going to be the Chuba Hubbard show or the go up and get it corner of the end zone. Teteroa McMillan touchdown dance.
Yeah, I definitely like that take. I think Xavier, I don't know about that. Adam Thielen, I think, dude, old man Thielen, like, I think he's walking to the sunset. So yeah, I mean, the only other thing I would say is, I mean, it's kind of hard to go after that because you kind of nailed all the points. Yeah, I think he could. I agree. He's going to emerge as a wide receiver 1 or 2 in his rookie year. Once again, we've talked about the Panthers. I think people are sleeping on them, and they're going to get hit in the mouth pretty hard this year. So
he's 6'5", bro.
Lengthy. I think, but once again, it all depends on their quarterback play, right? You definitely saw some improvements. So I feel like he's going in the right area. However, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just trying to piss on your cornflakes, but I think he's gonna be great.
Okay. Well, don't draft him when we draft in your league. Don't draft him.
No, I'm gonna draft him. I'm gonna draft him. I hope I get right before. I wouldn't do that. Maybe I'll just put a lot of money in the auction on him. Okay. Well, let's move on to JSN. What do you think? What do you got? You like him? You hate him?
I think JSN is great. I think he's got a chance to be knocking on the door of the top 15 easily. Another guy that I'm super high on. Another guy that I want to get as many shares of as possible. I know the guy's super fluid, smooth as hell. Great route runner. Yeah, I just want as many shares of the guy as possible. He had a double-digit A dot last year. Finished with 17.1 fantasy points per game in 10 games. Just look, DK Metcalf is gone.
Yep.
That's huge. It's 108 targets that he had. Okay. Lockett is gone, and he vacated another ton of targets. 74 to be exact. There's a ton of targets to go around, okay? There's a ton of targets, and who's going to be the guy who eats, the guy who's going to get all those targets, the beneficiary? JSN. I think his production goes up just because of the need and the usage that he's going to get, and I think he's got a chance to be a low-end wide receiver 1 and a high-end wide receiver 2.
You're not worried about Marquez Scantling?
Nope.
Me either. Yeah, I 100% agree. I know that's kind of boring for the phony homies because they kind of like us when we go, I wouldn't say against each other, but like have different opinions. But I think he's a high-end fantasy wide receiver 2 this year. Exactly what you said. He doesn't have much competition at the wide receiver. And Clint Kubiak's new offense scheme, I think it's saying that it's gonna feature more 2 wide receiver sets. Structure that could limit opportunities for slot specialist guys like JSN, which could be kind of risky. But at the same time, I think he emerges. He had a breakout year finally. Gee, I wonder why. What happened last year? Oh yeah, the offensive coordinator went to the Bears. And honestly, I remember, and I'm sure I brought this up many times, but I do remember him saying something like, "What do you think about the Bears? What should the Bears expect with the new offensive coordinator?" And he's like, "Good luck." And I was just like, "Ooh, not good." But yeah, I think he's going to be a reliable weekly asset, high target shares, which is what you want. You want targets, right? So it can rack up. Yeah, I guess that's the only little extra sprinkles that I can give you. Okay. Garrett Wilson.
Well, we got Terry McLaurin first.
Oh, you want to talk?
I don't have
about
a whole
him?
lot to say. I don't really want any shares of a guy who hasn't practiced. I'm just scared of that.
Yeah, that was going to be my point. That was going to be my point because we saw what happened last year. Remember when CeeDee Lamb kind of sat out, did not come back.
Remember the running backs I gave you? Le'Veon Bell was one of them. I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sat. Who else? A few guys. Breece Hall. Whoever.
Yep.
There's a few guys that sat, and it really messed him up. Here's what I'll say. He's on the wrong side of 30. Okay. He's not getting any faster as a result. Yes, he had a great season last year, and yes, he could finish in the top 12 if healthy. Okay. but I don't like that he's sitting out. It's concerning to me. I'm not taking him at the ADP that they have him at. I think they have him at 16 ADP. We have him at 20. I'm just not the highest on him. I don't want any shares of Scary Terry. Yeah. No, thank you. He had 13 touchdowns last year. He's not going to have 13 touchdowns again. That's why his ADP is inflated.
Yeah,
the highest he had, other than 13, the 13 he had last year was 7 before that. So, if he drops down to 7, he probably drops down to somewhere in the mid-20s. I just don't want any shares.
Yeah, I mean, I would say he's like a reliable flex, right? As I've said multiple times with these wide receivers. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think his ADP definitely got pushed up just because of his season last year. He's sitting around 16, 17 right in there. But yeah, I don't like the fact that he hasn't done anything. Not playing any games. He's not going to practice, which definitely hurts wide receivers. I don't care. Even if he's like working, on his own, which they tend to do, like, oh, I'm still staying in shape, which I'm sure he's doing. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I don't want any part in anything he's doing. So Garrett Wilson, what do we think?
Well, I'm a little scared. Why?
Me fucking too.
Because Justin Fields is his quarterback. I think Justin Fields is great for fantasy.
What do you mean?
But I don't think he's great at throwing. A lot of times people say that he locks on his first target, his first read. But I don't think that's true. I don't think it's true. Fields' first read throw rate ranks not too good. I got some numbers for you. In 2021, his first read, he didn't really throw it. He finished 19th in first read throw rate. In 2022, 17th. In 2023, 34th. In 2024, 35th. What does that stat mean? That means that how many times does he throw to his first read? Not as often, actually.
No, he usually gets scared and runs. Yep.
Yeah, 34 and 35 the last 2 years. 34, 35. That doesn't bode well for Garrett Wilson. Crazy stat, but one that we had to pull and one that makes me kind of scared. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a risk. I mean, I wouldn't say he's risky. I would say he's a safe wide receiver too. I feel like, yeah, he's going to be targeted quite a bit. Like we're hoping, I guess, or some people are. But you're right. It sucks though because he's so good, bro. Like when he was target, like he made shit happen, even with like shitty ass quarterbacks. Like he was like, okay, give me the ball, throw me the ball. Who is it? Zach? What's his name? Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Even like working with him, he was like, all right, when he got the ball, he like was explosive and he got it moving. So yeah, he's definitely on shaky street for me. But you never know. He could like.
Here's the only saving grace. Okay, the only thing I like: Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields were teammates in college.
Okay.
Garrett Wilson caught 723 yards and 7 touchdowns in just 8 games due to COVID. He was on pace to have a monster season. It was already a monster season in 8 games. That's not to say that Fields is the same quarterback that he was in college. I think they kind of hurt him, kind of almost ruined him. This is his last year for me, to be honest. I don't know, man. I think the chemistry is going to be there. I think Fields is going to force feed Wilson. If he's there and I need a wide receiver 1, I'll take him. But other guys, to be honest, I'd rather have this. I'd rather have T-Mac. It's crazy, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a risk reward, and I think like there's more risk here than reward. So that's what I would say too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you want to talk about DK Metcalf?
I think he's underrated. I think the guy is a walking 1,000 yards. Fair. I think he's got legit wide receiver 1. That's it. Steady.
Yep. I totally agree. The only thing I could say is like if him and Rodgers like get on the same page, I think he's going to be a solid pickup. So, 100%. Okay. DJ Moore, any thoughts on him?
I've seen him ranked pretty damn high, and I've seen him ranked pretty damn low. As high as 13 and as low as 30. I feel like nobody's got faith.
Except for lonely Bears fans. God bless you, DJ.
Here's my issue, okay? Here's my issue. One of Rome and DJ Moore is going to be a top 15 guy, top 18. Okay. I don't know who it's going to be. I'd rather take Rome at his value than DJ here. That's it.
Yeah, definitely more upside with Rome.
And for nothing, for a lot later. Not for nothing, but later,
True. I mean, I think the rest of these guys we can safely say are like have that reliable wide receiver 2 value.
Yeah.
Right? I'm looking it over. Maybe Marvin Harrison, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's how is he going to be utilized? Even last year, I mean, his efficiency dropped. And once again, I don't know if that's because rookie quarterback, offensive coordinator, or what have you. But yeah, there was a lot of like drama unfolding last year where he was like giving up on plays. Say what you will. I don't know if he had some things that come back, but yeah. Yeah, I would say wide receiver 2, reliable. Definitely, if you don't get, this is like one of those like mid-round kind of pickups, right? Could definitely help you, especially if you have like one of those top tier wide receivers, which we will get to very, very shortly here. Okay, Marvin Harrison Jr. We have him ranked at number 16. Some thoughts on him is that he's put on some weight, some muscle, because he was getting knocked around a little too hard last year. There's really not a lot of other options on that team. There's no other wide receiver on the Arizona Cardinals. I'm like, oh, I don't know, because they might have to like split it with him. He's like the number 1 guy, I would say. The only thing I'm worried about, once again, I'm noticing a lot of these teams, I think it's like trending now. Like, what was it last year? Wide receiver, running back value was like, no, who cares? You can put any guy in. And then you saw what a good running back can do for your team. So I think a lot of teams are like, all right, let's go back. Instead of like bombing the ball, let's go back to coming up with some really good schemes. Do you have any stats on him, or do you want me to look that up?
Yeah, he posted a respectable 62 catch, 885, 8 touchdown campaign in 2024.
Not bad. He's a rook. So
yeah, you're right on the body transformation. Here's the issue. Okay, the issue is Kyler Murray. Good quarterback, but
Moody Murray. That's what I call him, Moody Murray.
They drafted a wide receiver in Marvin Harrison who runs across the middle, runs great routes that unfortunately Kyler Murray can't throw the ball to. The guy runs across the middle, and unfortunately Murray doesn't throw it across the middle. So That's the shitty part. It is what it is. I don't know.
Plus, he's the only person who's really competing against is Trey McBride, right? Yeah. So we talked about him as well too. Last take I would say is that mid-round wide receiver flex option. I would say.
Okay.
Cool. Mike Evans. I'm sorry, Davante Adams. Whew, keep doing that, man. Davante Adams, number 15. And he is now on the LA Chargers, which is awesome. Only concern I have for him is honestly like Matthew Stafford. But I mean, obviously he's elite, bro. Like
he's elite.
I don't know. Like we don't have to go over the numbers. Like he's
best route runner in football.
Honestly. He is like 30 or going to be 30 somewhere in there. So a little long in tooth, but I don't know, man. I think he's proficient.
32.
I think as long as who's the backup in LA again?
Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know.
Oh. Wait, didn't Jimmy Garoppolo? Oh yeah, that's when he got like really pissed and threw his helmet because he hated Jimmy Garoppolo. So T's and P's for Matthew Stafford, because I think these would be a really great duo. Matthew Stafford is obviously really good at targeting really great wide receivers. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really
want to get From week 9 onward, he averaged 20.1 points per game from week 9 onward. Guy's stud.
Yeah, I mean, it's him. All right.
Mike Evans 1,000-yard guy.
Oh boy. Dang, look at him, dude. Woo, gotta get lined up. Gotta get lined up a little bit there, Mike. Hair's looking a little crazy. We kind of already touched on him. I've already kind of take my take. I don't think he's I'm not avoiding Mike Evans, but I do think his production value is going to dip. and we'll see what happens. So our next guy, Tyreek Hill. Dang, look at that neck, bro. That's like
our next
crazy.
guy's Ladd McConkey.
Oh, I keep doing that, man. I keep moving on. My guy. Sorry. Go ahead. Ladd McConkey. Here we go. Look at him.
The guy's great route runner, product of offense that doesn't really have a bunch of other guys to throw the ball to. I think we might be a little high
on the Chargers. They don't have a lot of other guys
Johnson,
to throw to. Keenan Allen.
Oh yeah, that Keenan, but I mean they didn't have him last year. So do I think his numbers go down a little bit? Yes.
Oh yeah, okay.
But he's going to be a PPR machine.
Yeah, I agree. Safe bet. I would. What round? Are you thinking mid, or I think third round.
Well, current ADP has him at 26. So that would put him at round 3, beginning of round 3.
Okay, so I was about right there. I was like, okay. Breakout year last year, obviously. Really like the options. Justin Herbert. Herbert, yes, did it. Yeah, I think he's going to be obviously fantasy relevant. I think this is a safe pick. Third round definitely sounds about right. Yeah, 1,149 yards receiving. So yeah, I think that's good, right? No.
Yep.
Okay, right, moving on. Make sure I say it right. Oh, I keep doing it, man. You throw me off. Okay, Tyreek Hill. Kind of talked about him a little bit. It's crazy. He's at 12. Think about that. That is a significant drop. Significant. Last year he was going at 1, 2 of wide receiver picks, right? He was going very, very early. He definitely had a down year last year, obviously. And I mean, some people, or he was saying it's because of his wrist. His wrist was injured throughout the year. He wasn't really talking about. The thing that scares me about him is, I would say, when actually the whole team, when Tua is not in there, that team is trash. They are not proficient. Bad. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, because obviously their backup maybe not as strong, but it was like crazy drop-offs for everyone. It wasn't like, oh no, Tyreek's numbers dip a little. No, it was like, what's going on? So that's one of my concerns. My other concerns is, I mean, wow, dude, 81 receptions for 959 yards receiving. I mean, we got people in our ranked 20th that outdid him, right? Yeah. So just I don't know, mid-round wide receiver 2, I would say.
I don't know what mid-round means, but here's what I'll say. Okay, if he's there in round 3, you take him because he's the league winner. I think if he plays and he does what he can do, he almost had 2,000 yards 2 years ago.
Yeah, but last year he didn't even break 1,000.
But Tua was hurt.
And Tua was hurt the year before. You're really that high? You think he's going to be your league winner?
I think he's a league winner. Wow. I think he's a league winner. If you
don't know what mid-round receiver 2 means?
No. Here's what I'll say. If
offers he's in a big 3, rebound ceiling with caution. Best draft around round 3, round 4.
Okay. If he's there in round 3, you take him. If he's there in round 4, you'd be stupid not to take him. You take him. And here's the reason why. The guy is a freak. He could lose 2 steps and still be the fastest wide receiver in football. The guy's that good. He's that good.
I see that. I'm not diminishing. I don't think he's lost a step. I don't think he's bad by any stretch. I think he had a bad year. You're right, Tua. Does Tua stay healthy this year? I don't think so. I don't think so. That scares me, right? So, but maybe that's cool because a lot of people are thinking like me, and he will fall to the 3rd round and then scoop him. Okay. Dang, dude, he came in hot. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
All right. You want to talk about T. Higgins? You okay?
No, that's your boy.
Okay. T. Higgins. Crap. My bad. Here he is. Sorry about that. There's a beautiful bastard. With T. Higgins, my whole thing about him is that he can't stay healthy. But when he is healthy, he is definitely a hot, obviously, wide receiver too, right? We all know Lamar is the guy in Cincinnati. So he scares me just a little bit just because of his injuries overall. He was out for a couple, I would say, like a good portion last year. And even when you put him in, it didn't seem like he would get the ball. But that's also because historically, the Bengals, I thought the Bengals were your team, dude. Overall, the Bengals start off slow, right? So, but he did actually get his contract, $150 million contract right there. They plan actually moving Higgins around, so I think that's good. I would say, yeah, he's definitely a strong wide receiver too, with wide receiver upside. Grab him. Are you gonna get mad again, or are you okay?
No, I'm good. No.
I'm Dude, good. You came hot, bro. You were like pissed about Tree.
It's against fantasy managers that don't believe in Tyreek Hill.
Well, I believe in him.
Look, Collins was the wide receiver 1 all season until he got hurt. He hurt
True. That's true. Okay.
And CJ Stroud force-fed the shit out of him. I'm sorry. Are we talking about Nico Collins or T. Higgins? Who are we talking about here?
I was talking about T. Higgins.
Oh, I'm sorry.
T. Higgins, solid wide receiver 2.
You're a Bengals guy.
Can't stand in the field.
Can't stand the field. That's all.
Okay, cool.
Solid.
All right, go ahead. Nico Collins.
I'd rather have Nico Collins over T. Higgins, over Tyreek Hill, over Larry McConkey, over A.J. Brown. That's coming up. Over Drake London.
He's a beast. He's over a fucking beast, bro.
Look, I got ahead of myself, okay?
Collins was the wide receiver 1 until he got hurt. He hurt his hamstring.
That sucked.
Nixon's hurt.
Okay. Tank Dell out, and Diggs is gone.
Yep.
What more do I gotta say? What more do I gotta say?
Exactly. No, I love, bro. At one point in one of my leagues, sorry, I keep doing this, but I had Nico Collins, and I want to say I had Lamar Chase. It was awesome. It was fucking awesome, but Nico got hurt. So injuries, but I mean, nobody's safe from injuries. Especially if you're an elite wide receiver, you're gonna get banged up. It's gonna happen. But yeah, there's nothing more to say about him. Grab him early. First round pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Late first, maybe early.
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely early. I wouldn't. Don't think he's gonna drop to like the third round. No way. Okay. Yeah. AJ Brown. Kind of touched on AJ Brown already. His production went down last year, which was crazy, but it's a scheme, my guy. Doesn't mean I'm shying away from him because he's explosive. Was injured a little bit last year, but he's gonna bounce back. Yeah. Next guy, Drake London. This guy is flying up boards, and you understand why. I feel like this year with Atlanta, he's got a young quarterback that can throw him the ball. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find his picture. It sucks. Anywho, I want a lot of Drake London this year. I really do. I think he's going to be a breakout. If you want to dive into the numbers, we can. But honestly, I want a lot of shares of him this year. I think he's going to finish off in the top 10.
High floor, even higher ceiling. Got a quarterback that's going to throw him the ball.
Guy's a freak. He's got a chance to go double-digit touchdowns and go for 1,200 yards. I love Drake London. I have him ranked at 6, personally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Our guy. BTJ, baby. That's my boy.
Yeah, he's everyone's boy. If you were lucky enough to grab him off the waiver, man, congratulations last year. This dude is offense for the Jags. I don't think there's anyone better. When he's electric, he's explosive. He had a phenomenal year. I think he's going to continue to have a ridiculous career overall. Phony homies, honestly, we're not really diving too deep into the numbers because these guys, you don't have to. There shouldn't be a question as to why you would wait to draft this guy.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I'll say this. Brian Thomas Jr., over the last 7 weeks of the NFL season last year, he consistently scored fantasy points and had the 3rd most points at wide receiver during that 7-week stretch. Guy's a freak. Sign me up. I love BTJ. I think I would have them ranked personally. Nico, Drake London, BTJ.
Or what about Tariq?
Tariq I have after that. Right after that.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Okay.
I would take Drake London, and I would take Nico Collins in the first round pick. I would take.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you have like what, depending on your league, man. If
EPR, yeah,
bro, like if you have the 5th pick, you're gonna be able to grab these guys, guaranteed. Wouldn't guarantee it, but because there's probably some people watching. So, anyways, Amon-Ra St. Brown, obviously the wide receiver one. Why do I keep doing that, dude? I think it's because you highlight it and I go to it because you're like, anyways. Malik Neighbors, obviously, once again, had a really, really solid rookie year. I'm getting there, dude. Jesus. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying because if we do a reel, I want to make sure that you're not saying the wrong name in the wrong picture.
Okay. Well, let's make sure we get the AI right. Don't have to use it either. Anyways, Malik Neighbors, the only thing that I'm really concerned about him, phenomenal rookie year. Obviously, the offense is running through him. Still trying to find him. I will say the only knock on him so far is that he's dealing with a toe injury. But he's been dealing with this toe injury since college. So I don't think it's really going to have him sit out anytime soon. Yeah, I would take him for sure because he's going to get targeted a lot. The only thing is the Giants defense is pretty good. So if the Giants do get ahead, they may start running the ball, but I don't see that happening. Malik Neighbors is your guy.
I just don't really want anything to do with that Giants offense, to be honest. I'm kind of afraid of it. And
yeah, quarterback play. Right.
Yeah, he's dealing with an injury. So
yeah, toe injury, which he's been dealing with for a while. So, but yeah, you could be sitting out, especially if you get him in the higher rounds. You might be sitting. Yeah, that would suck if you build a team around him. So, okay.
I don't know, but he could lead all receivers and targets because he has no competition.
Dude, he's so good though. He's so good. Like, just he was fun to watch, man.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
He's so much better than Rome Odunze. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Whoopsie, dupes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, guess that's why we're not getting paid the big bucks yet. Okay.
Amon-Ra.
I'm just making sure. All right. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, these last 5 guys, I mean, there's a reason why you're going to draft him. At this point, like, yeah, he's him. Although, like, a lot of people don't take him too early. That's why we kind of have him at 5, which is crazy to me. I mean, obviously, you know, he's in the same category as Lamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Puka. Yeah, tried and true, phenomenal season year after year, 1,000-yard seasons. They're going to target him quite a bit. So, I don't know.
He's the safest wide receiver you could take in the draft.
Yep.
1,000 yards. Chalk it up. 7 touchdowns at least. Chalk it up. Puka. I'm a little scared. Puka Nacua.
Mm-hmm.
All him and his value is contingent on Matt Stafford. Same as Devontae Adams. If Stafford plays the whole season, Puka has a chance to finish as the wide receiver 1. Legit. If he plays the whole season. If he doesn't, he could fall out of the top 20. If Matt Stafford misses time. So, receiver.
I will also say Puka Nacua is like, he's just a dog. He doesn't give a shit. He will run, get beat up. He will throw his body. He does not care about his body. He's going after that ball a little too hard. Like, I want him to kind of like ease that back just a little, just to keep him healthy. That's only. I mean, that doesn't scare me away from grabbing him. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The Stafford thing, which I think is going to shake out. He's been in practice, but back injury, dude, like that sucks. It's hard to manage, and he's a tough SOB. So we shall see. Okay, let's make sure. We're going to go to Justin Jefferson. Dude, I mean, come on. Well, what more can you say? This guy is definitely, obviously, elite. He is dealing with a hamstring, I want to say, injury right now. They've already said that he's probably not going to be starting in week 1. I don't think that's going to affect his ADP at all. Yeah, this is definitely like, this is going to be the argument, like, of these next guys, like, who you're going to take and why would you take this guy over that guy. I think the only thing that hurts him a little bit, if I can say it, is just his not going to be there week 1.
Yeah. Real quick on Justin Jefferson. Other than the 15 games he missed in 2023, he's been consistent. So 2022, 2024, 2021, he's been consistent. For the most part, he's a good stat. He's had at least 15 fantasy points or more in PPR in about 70% of all the games he's played in.
Damn.
Consistent. So the guy's a beast. He's got DJ McCarthy. And if McCarthy's an upgrade over Darnold, then he only stands to profit. So we'll see, especially considering that Addison's going to be out for a few games. We'll see the kind of usage he gets. I like him. I'd be happy with him at number 1 as my number 1 receiver. I'd be happy with him.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like I said, these next guys are going to debate. If you have the number 1 pick or even the number 3 pick, it's like, do I go with Justin, CD, or we'll save the best for last? But CD Lamb, once again, an elite wide receiver. He had a slow start last year just because of the simple fact that he was holding out. It took him a while to kind of get back up, ramped up. Once he did, he was doing great, and then Dak got injured. But even with was it Cooper Rush, he was still flourishing.
He finished at wide receiver 8, even still.
Great. Yeah, awesome. I mean, once again, man, it's going to be hard to really pull the trigger on which guy because they all have upside. There's no way that you're going to have a bad year. And especially the only thing I would say about CeeDee Lamb, also, especially the Dallas schedule, they are going to be playing from behind. I think he's going to get targeted quite a bit because Dallas is going to suck this year. I mean, for football-wise, but fantasy-wise, CeeDee Lamb, set and forget it. And he's a tough SLB too. He was dealing with like a shoulder injury last year. If you remember, there was a couple times where he was on the ground and you could see that like he was laying there for a little bit, composing himself, and then got back up. Tough son of a bitch. So I like him. And last but not least, drum roll, please, the number 1 wide receiver, Ja'Marr motherfucking Chase.
That's right.
Bro, this guy. What can you not say about him? He was, again, one of those guys that held out last year, right? Had a slow start, but still finished off the year with, let me take a look. Total yards, 1,708, 17 touchdowns. He averaged about 23 points per game in fantasy football, right? I mean, damn, dude. I know he dropped last year in rankings or in ADP just because he was holding out, which was great because I was able to scoop him. This dude, I mean, yes, absolutely. I guess my only question is, out of these 3, all right, is this exactly the way you would take it? If you would go Lamar Chase, there's nobody you would drop over him?
Ja'Marr, yeah. I would, number 1. I think he could finish 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I'd be happy with him. I think CD could finish 1 to 8 because we saw it last year. Jefferson could finish 1 to 10. So give me Ja'Marr. Just consistent, great. He won the Triple Crown in receiving, like you said, led in yards, touchdowns, and receptions. The only downside is I think there's going to be a little regression. I don't think he's going to get 1,700 yards again because he's got a healthy T. Higgins. I don't think he's going to catch 127 balls because, again, T. Higgins is there. And that offensive line sucks. So,
yeah, true. Fuck, I forgot about that part.
Still think Ja'Marr Chase is...
Yeah, he's safe. Like, I mean, if you're drafting and he's available, you fucking grab him and don't look back because he's going to be a huge asset. Yep. All right. We got a new segment with our rankings. And this one is MySpace 8. So, trying to find JC's first. You want to... there it is. You want to go first?
Absolutely. So a lot of fantasy podcasts that you watch do My Guys, or they do Hate or Love segment.
Ice or Fire.
We love the guys who are our guys. Our MySpace top 8. Here is my list. DL, if you could please share. At number 1, DL,
sorry.
I have
there we go.
Brian Thomas Jr., a guy that I'm trying to get as many shares as possible. I have Drake London, another guy I want as many shares as possible. We alluded to reasons why. I also love Cortland Sutton. I love Tet McMillan, Emeka Egbuka, Josh Downs, Matthew Golden, and Jaden Higgins. We didn't talk too much about Jaden Higgins, but like I said, I do believe he will be the number 2 receiver there after Nico Collins in an offense, a high-powered offense, an offense that will throw, tons of times. CJ Stroud had a 5,000-yard passing season already in him. So gonna see what happens if he does. If he has another big season like that, throws for over 4,700 yards, I expect a guy like Jaden Higgins to profit. Just guys that I'm trying to get as many shares of as possible, guys that I would highly, highly, highly recommend. Dio?
Okay, I like it. And we'll get to mine right now. You're going to see quite a bit, some of the similars, because me and JC are like that. But obviously, mine's way better than his. In fact, see you later, dude. So for myself, I'm starting it off with Brian Thomas Jr. He's an elite guy. He had a phenomenal rookie year. I think he's going to repeat there. Drake London, which we mentioned already. I think he's got the offense behind him. I think he's got the quarterback. He's been doing fantastic in training camp. He did well in preseason games. So I think he is him. Emeka Egbuka, totally butchering his name. I think he's going to emerge as the wide receiver too. I think obviously Mike Evans is not going to give up that role. I've already talked about him having kind of a down year, but I feel like this guy is fast. He's already showing up in preseason once again. Don't wait too much on preseasons because it is vanilla, but I think, Tampa Bay definitely hit a home run here. Rome Odunze is a homer in me. What can I say? I picked him over DJ just because of the simple fact that I feel like he just has a better rhythm with Caleb Williams. He can go up and grab the ball. We've seen him do that time and time again. I think this year he's going to take the step forward. Travion Henderson, once again, solid guy, rookie, fast as heck. And I think, JC already kind of talked about him. I do like Marvin Harrison this year as well. We kind of mentioned he put on some weight in the good way, not the bad way. He's not Eddie Lacy. He put on some muscle. So I feel like, Marvin is definitely going to take another step forward. If Moody Murray can, find him a little bit more, hopefully they can kind of work on some sort of scheme where he doesn't have to go over the middle. But when he does, I think Marvin's definitely going to take off and you're going to get a lot of touchdowns. I already talked about Jameson Williams. I think the scheme, I like the way that, they're going deep with him. They're going to be moving him around. And yeah, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to get double teamed quite a bit because obviously, why wouldn't you double him? So I think he's going to get a couple more looks. And I'm going to round it off and put a bow on it with Xavier Legette. Last year, huge waiver wire pickup. I know JC isn't as high on him as I am, but I think he's proven it. I think he's a safe bet. And I think he's going to be a sneaky stash. But I don't know.
Cool. I want to say Dart and the New York Giants absolutely obliterated the Patriots. Let me see here. It looks like they're winning 42-10. That's it. Game over. 42.
Oh, in preseason. Damn. Mm-hmm. It's not as good as 38-0.
No, that's good. All right, funny homies, that's it for today's episode. Remember to shoot those draft questions, DL, on Twitter. Where at?
Tweet FFG.
Awesome. And use that hashtag as always.
Ask us FFG.
Easy, simple. And remember to send those fantasy questions as well if you want to send them through email. Where can you send those, DL?
AskUsFFG@gmail.com.
And lastly, if you want to send those voicemails, we'd love to play one. I think it's been almost a year now since we played a voicemail. Yeah, we got to play one soon. Dude, crazy. We got to play a voicemail. DL, what's the phone?
No one wants to talk to you, but maybe that changes this year. Here you go, 708-655-4508. Hit up JC. Send him those picks, if you will. So he has something to look at.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in again, funny homies. For DL, I am JC. We'll catch you on another episode on Tuesday.
Next
what are we going to
Tuesday.
do? We're going to do a mock? What do you want to do?
I kind of want to do tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks. Maybe we could do a live mock. It's easy. Tips and tricks. It is. We will drop an episode on Tuesday, and maybe we'll do a mock on Thursday because what is it? The biggest fantasy weekend this weekend and next. So tune in again, guys, so you guys can catch another awesome episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and
smash
that notification.